When I moved in with Marcus, I thought I hit the jackpot. Rent was low, the apartment was surprisingly clean, and Marcus was quiet. Too quiet, honestly, but I figured he was just shy. We barely interacted beyond the occasional nod or forced small talk. He worked nights, I worked mornings. It was a peaceful setup. For the first couple of weeks, everything was fine. Then I started noticing little things. My cereal boxes weren't in the same place. My toothpaste cap was unscrewed even when I swore I closed it. Once I came home and found my bedroom window slightly open. Odd, considering I never opened it and we were on the 3rd floor. I blamed myself. Stress, distraction, maybe even mild paranoia. I'd just gone through a breakup and part of me thought I was just being overly suspicious. But things kept piling up. One night, I left my phone charging in the kitchen and went to shower. When I came back, I found it lying face down on the counter, unplugged. The screen showed it had been unlocked just moments ago. I never touched it. Still, I said nothing. Then came the diary. It was a Thursday evening. Marcus had left for work in a rush, his uniform half-buttoned and keys still dangling from his fingers. I was grabbing a snack when I noticed it. His bedroom door was slightly ajar. That was strange. Marcus always kept it shut. I didn't plan to go in. But something stopped me in the hallway. A weird feeling in my gut. Like something had been waiting. I pushed the door open. His room was a mess, far from the spotless shared space he maintained. Clothes on the floor, half-eaten instant noodles on the desk. But what caught my attention was the leather-bound notebook sitting open on his bed. A diary. I stared at it. I shouldn't have looked. But I did. The first few pages were mundane. Grocery lists. Annoyance about work. A few rants about traffic. Then I turned to the more recent entries. Day 4. Jacob skips breakfast again. Doesn't realize I heard him crying in the shower. 6:47 a.m. Day 8. He leaves the front door unlocked again. I lock it after he sleeps. Day 12. He called someone named Anna. She didn't pick up. He looked sad. My stomach dropped. It was about me. Every single page was detailed surveillance of my daily life. Times. Emotions. Habits I didn't even notice myself. When I came home, when I slept, what I said in my sleep. Even what shows I watched. Then came the last entry. It was dated today. Day 26. He looked in my room today. I think he knows. I'm tired of watching. Tonight's the night. That last sentence. Tonight's the night. My heart froze. Was it a joke? A prank diary? I scanned the room. No cameras, no recorders, at least none visible. But I couldn't shake the feeling I was being watched. I backed out of the room slowly, shut his door, and locked myself in my bedroom. I blocked the door with a chair and barely slept. Every creak in the hallway felt louder. I kept checking the clock. 11:30 p.m. 12:15 a.m. 1:02 a.m. 3:11 a.m. Nothing. By morning I was a mess. I left for work early, mind racing, palms sweating. When I came back home that evening, Marcus was in the kitchen, smiling. Come. He asked how my day was. I stared at him, unsure whether to scream or smile back. He blinked and said, "Sleep okay last night?" I moved out 2 days later. Told him my cousin needed a roommate and I had to help out. He just nodded. Didn't argue. Didn't ask questions. As I packed, I checked his room one last time. The diary was gone. All that remained was a single sticky note on my bedroom door. I liked our time together. You made a great subject. Even now, I lock every bedroom door behind me. I don't leave my phone unattended. I've moved 3 times since, but sometimes I still get the feeling that someone's tracking my every move. Watching. Writing. Because you never truly know who you're living with until it's too late. When Jake moved in, he didn't bring much with him. Just a few suitcases, a laptop, and an old antique dresser. The dresser was weird. It was tall and narrow, carved out of dark oak, with clawed feet and metal handles that looked rusted shut. The entire thing looked like it belonged in some haunted manor, not a modern 2-bedroom apartment in a student neighborhood. He didn't want it in his room either. "I'll keep it in the hallway closet," he said quickly, not looking me in the eye. "It's just easier." At the time, I didn't think much of it. I mean, roommates have their quirks, right? But there was something unsettling about that thing. The night after he moved in, I walked past the hallway closet and paused. It was closed, but I could have sworn I heard a sound. A soft scratching from inside. like nails gently dragging across wood. At first I thought it might be a rat. We were on the ground floor after all. But the scratching never stopped. It continued every night after that, always starting after midnight and lasting for hours. Quiet, rhythmic scraping, sometimes slow, sometimes fast, as if something was shifting around in there. I asked Jake about it once. He barely reacted. "Old wood," he mumbled. "It creaks." "No," I said. "Scratches. Like something's inside." He gave me this blank stare. "Don't open it," he said flatly. "Please." His tone was so cold and final that I just nodded and dropped it. But I kept noticing more strange things. The apartment started to smell. It wasn't constant, more like waves. A rotting, metallic scent that would come and go, especially in the hallway. I cleaned. I aired out the space. Nothing helped. One night, I decided to check while Jake was out. He worked the night shift at some warehouse, usually gone from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I waited until well after midnight, standing in front of the closet door with my hand on the knob, heart pounding. The scratching had stopped. Everything was silent. I opened the door slowly. The closet was dark. I used my phone flashlight and aimed it at the dresser. Something was off. It looked wet. Moisture clung to the wood in patches, and a dark streak ran down the side like something had seeped out from the inside. The smell hit me hard, rancid like spoiled meat left in the sun. I gagged, covering my nose. The top drawer was cracked open. I stepped closer and pulled it open fully. Inside were chunks of raw meat. Not packaged, not frozen. Just slabs of flesh, grayish red, slimy and buzzing faintly with flies. Some pieces looked old, dried. Others looked fresh, too fresh. And beneath the meat, soaked into the wood, were deep claw marks. Like something had been trying to claw its way out. I backed away slowly, shaking. Slammed the closet shut. Locked myself in my room for the night. Jake came home around 6:30 a.m. I didn't say anything. I pretended to be asleep. Later that day he knocked on my door. "You opened it," he said. I didn't answer. He didn't ask again. But that night, the scratching returned. Only this time it was louder. More urgent. Followed by a low growl, like something hungry. I didn't sleep. At dawn I packed everything I could carry and left. No note. No explanation. I moved in with a friend across town, told the landlord I had to leave for personal reasons. I never went back for the rest of my stuff. About a month later, I heard the apartment was listed again. New tenants moved in. I don't know what happened to Jake. Or the dresser. But sometimes late at night, I swear I hear scratching at my new apartment door. Soft at first. Then faster. Like something's looking for me.